What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Code, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. This is the Manchester United versus Chelsea 2-0 match reaction, match review. Sorry, this is going to be probably 12 to 16 hours late because the internet in here is shockingly bad and I didn't really have time to make it when the game finished. So for anybody that's watching, this was a very important game for Manchester United and for Chelsea. And we won 2-0 at Stamford Bridge. It's a very crucial win, very important win. It brings us one step closer, one game away really from top four. So anything can happen now. I think if we lost this game, top four was pretty much close to nothing really if we lost this game, or even if we drew, to be honest. But now with this win, this is another step closer to top four. It's another avenue into the Champions League. It's another step forward as a club, beating a good team. I enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed this game for many reasons. One, obviously, beating Chelsea is no easy feat. I think Chelsea are a very good team. They didn't have their best squad, but neither did we. And we ended up pulling out a very good result and a very comfortable win in the end. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of events that happened in the game that you could argue that Chelsea probably deserved a draw. And my opinion, when I watched the game, it looked like for the majority of it, it would be a draw. I didn't think we were going to get the second goal, but we did, and they didn't. Their two goals were ended up being ruled out. We'll go into all of that. I just want to give the player ratings first. I'll explain the goals later. Let's get started with that. So, David De Gea, I think David De Gea gets he didn't do much really. I think he gets a 6. 6 is an average score. He ends up hurting himself at the end of the game trying to save the ball. But yeah, nothing really happened with him. Wan-Bissaka, I think Wan-Bissaka gets a solid 8, to be honest. I think Wan-Bissaka was fantastic today. He was defensively what he is. He's always good defensively. But he also got a very good assist today. And that cross is what we need more out of him. More crosses like that. And we'll get 10 more goals per season, really. Like, that cross was spectacular. And you can tell he's working very hard. Obviously, this doesn't come naturally to him. He's not a natural forward. He's not a natural crosser. But if you work hard at something, eventually it will become natural to you. It's like learning how to ride a bike. It's just it ends up coming naturally to you. Learning how to play football, it will come naturally to you eventually. Some people will have natural gifts, and other people will have to work hard to achieve it. Wan-Bissaka is working hard to achieve his offensive game. That assist is beautiful, and this is not the first time he's done stuff like this. But we just need more, and we needed to connect more, because that assist was a beautiful assist, and that cross was beautiful. He did Azpilicueta dirty, really, and I think that kind of struck a nerve with him, with Azpilicueta as well. He got angry that entire game, pretty much, after that assist. But nevertheless, definitely an 8 for Wan-Bissaka. Eric Bailly, I'm gonna give Eric Bailly I'll give him an 8. The reason why I give him an 8, I was thinking about giving him a 7.5, but I give him an 8 because in the second half he shined, and that tackle at the end, near the end of the game on Kovacic, when we were already up 2-0, was beautiful. That was a spectacular block. That's world class right there. That is equal to a goal, really, because that was a 1-on-1 against the keeper. Kovacic is a good player. He's not a natural goal scorer. If that was Tammy Abraham, I think Eric Bailly probably wouldn't have got there in time. But at the opportunity was there, and he saved the hell out of us there. So he definitely gets an 8. But other than that, his passes were a bit risky today. He was doing skill moves in our box and everything. This is what you expect from Eric Bailly. He's a very risky player. He plays the risks. He plays the chances. But he ends up getting the right. He ends up getting most of it right this time. There was at least 2 or 3 cheap turnovers that could have led to a goal, but he ended up getting back his recovery speed. That's what we need. We need speed in our defense, and Eric Bailly brings something that Lindelof doesn't do. But his speed really saved us in the end, because if Lindelof made those mistakes, we probably wouldn't have ended up winning that game, to be honest. But Eric Bailly, he made up for his mistakes. He saved a very crucial goal. Definitely think an 8 is worthy. Let's go to Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire gets an 8 as well. Now, let's talk about his red card. So if anyone that didn't see the game, he ended up falling. Batshuayi kind of nudged him into the coaching area, and while he was falling, Maguire extended his leg to try and prevent Batshuayi from falling on him. And a lot of fans, a lot of Chelsea fans, a lot of regular fans, I think majority of the people assumed or think that this would be a red card. I guess it could go either way. I personally don't think it's a red card. I think yellow, but VAR can't give a yellow, and the ref didn't call anything. But I think it's just if you watch the Son one back against Chelsea and you watch the Harry Maguire one, it just different levels of intent there. I don't think Harry Maguire intended to hit him, but I think he knew that he was going to. And yeah, it could have been a red card, but if you're going to talk about, especially Chelsea fans, if you're going to talk about red cards, there was a certain player named Jorginho that got red carded that should have been sent off against Arsenal, and he ended up scoring for you guys. So I think Chelsea fans are the last team to complain about receiving, getting something, scoring from a player that should have been red carded. Harry Maguire scored a goal. It was a beautiful goal. He finally scored from a header, and he definitely gets an 8. If any Chelsea fan thinks Harry Maguire should have been sent off, look, you're probably right. I don't think it was a red card, but a majority of the people do, and that's fine. But you of all people should not be complaining about someone being sent off, especially when I watched that Arsenal game. Jorginho should have been sent off in that game, and he ended up scoring. So at the end of the day, it balances itself out really. This probably happens to a bunch of teams, that the potential red card opportunities that are missed and it ends up biting them. It happens. You can't complain over it. You can meme it all you want. It's honestly, the memes are hilarious. Really, looking at the Harry Maguire memes, it's funny. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be complaining. At the end of I think you guys, Chelsea deserved to lose this game. To be honest, they didn't play very well. They had possession. They didn't create any chances. And at the end of the day, they got what they deserved. I think the red card, it could have been a red card, but just stop complaining about it, really. It's not. It's like it could have. If that happened to you guys, I'm sure you'd be saying the same thing that majority of Man United fans are saying. It probably is a red card. Looking back at it, I had to sleep on it. I don't think it's a red card, but it could have. It just depends on the day, really. It could have been a red card, and I would be angry if it was a red card, but it could have been. I'm not objecting the fact that it's a foul. Of course, it's a foul, but I think yellow max. That's what I believe. But yeah, like stuff like this happens. So that's what I'm trying to say. Let's just move on. Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw was pretty good today. I mean, I'm gonna give him a 7 because he wasn't outstanding or anything, but he was good. Luke Shaw. He ended up he pretty much marked Willian a lot out of the game, and Batshuayi. He was the one that kind of put them off their shots. There was a lot of missed opportunities from Chelsea, just hitting it off target. And Batshuayi was the main reason for that. I think Batshuayi was dreadful today. But majority of that, I think, was because of Luke Shaw and the way that he covered both Willian and Batshuayi. And I think he did very well. I'm very happy for Luke Shaw. It's good that he's getting a position in the team when he's not even the left back anymore, because I think he's valuable. He's very valuable for us. He's a very solid defender. He's getting used to 3 at the back more and more. I think if we're going to end up permanently playing this formation, Luke Shaw will thrive in this formation. But for now, it's definitely a 7. We'll see what happens if we play 3 at the back again. We've got Tottenham and Man City soon, so we're going to end up playing it again, and let's see how Luke Shaw does. Moving on into the midfield, Fred. I think Fred was superb today. Fred, he did everything, man. He tackled. I think Fred was the reason we won the midfield battle, in my opinion. Like I think it was a very close battle. Maybe if Kante was on, Fred wouldn't have got a better game than what he did. But definitely, without a doubt, Fred gets probably a 9 or an 8.5 out of 10, for sure. I feel so good to say that about Fred because he's such a good player, man, really, and he deserves everything that he's getting. He's getting game time. He's getting opportunities to pretty much run the team, and he's doing it very well. So, yeah, Fred definitely deserves everything that he's getting, and 9 out of 10, 8.5. I'm going to say 9. I think he was man of the match, so everyone that thought he was man of the match, yeah, I think he was man of the match too. I don't see anyone that came close to Fred really today. And this proves my point. We should never bench Fred when McTominay comes back. If we end up doing that, I think it's just a big mistake because there's going to be opportunities for McTominay to play. But you should definitely not drop Fred, especially in the Premier League. We're fighting for a top 4 spot. 9 out of 10. Yep. Fantastic. He defended, he tackled, he created opportunities. He ran that midfield. He's such a hardworking player. He reminds me of Kante a little bit in a way. Obviously, Kante's a better player, but I think Fred just has that enthusiasm and that energy just run the whole 90 minutes, and it really helped us here. Because if we didn't have Fred, I definitely don't think we win this game. So, yeah. I'm going to give Matic an 8. I think Matic was pretty good as well. Matic, he's been in form since he came into the United team, really, and he's never looked back. And I don't see a circumstance where Matic has a bad game anymore. He's going to be due for a bad game. Obviously, maybe the red card game was considered his bad game, but even in that game, he did very well. He scored a goal. Matic, he does that holding midfield position extremely well. He does hold the midfield. He's not the type of holding midfielder I would like, but he still does that job very well, especially to protect the back three. So they kind of gave the license for Fred to move up a bit, and he did so, and he did so comfortably. And definitely 8 for Matic. He just you don't like, even if you don't notice him, you know he's doing his job. He's holding the midfield. He's breaking up the play. There's always been the problem of him moving the ball fast enough, and he does that in spades, but he's never consistent with it. If he was consistent, I think a lot of people would rather keep Matic than go buy CDM if he was consistently moving the ball quickly. I think that's the only problem I have with Matic. But today and in recent 2 months, he's been fine, man. He's been very good. 8 is I think, a very good score. Bruno Fernandes, second game, I think he did all right. I didn't really notice him, to be honest, majority of the game. He made some killer passes. He's opportunity maker, and but a lot of those chances just didn't end up being. Chelsea's defense is a good defense. Rudiger's a fantastic centre back, and Zuma, when he came on, they did very well. So in the end, a lot of the chances were cleared, but those passes he makes, especially from the corners into a fast break, those are killer passes, man. And eventually they're gonna work. And he did get an assist today. From a corner, he took the corner. Harry Maguire header. This is kind of what we brought him in for, really, for set pieces. He's a fantastic set piece player. I'm going to give Bruno Fernandes a 7.5. I don't think he was better than Matic or Fred today, but he was definitely good. And this is promising. It really is. He hit the post from a free kick as well. He got an assist. He's on the board when it comes to stats. And he got a lot of people said that he could have gave away a penalty as well. He was up and down, but I definitely think the assist was crucial because no one could really take a corner in our team, and when he took one, we ended up scoring from it. Those passes for a fast break, he has passing range. He didn't get the ball to shoot a lot. We still didn't create many chances, which is what our problem is, and eventually that will come. I think that will come with Bruno Fernandes. We'll eventually create more opportunities, but I can definitely see a player in him. I can definitely see a player that's going to be very useful for us in the near future, and we're just going to give him time. It's only been his second game, and we're expecting the world out of him, and he's provided an assist so far. When he scores his goal, things will start to kick off a bit. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully Bruno Fernandes ends up becoming world-class talent, our captain, irreplaceable, all of that. Hopefully that can all come. And it's going to be interesting next season, especially for Chelsea, to see Ziyech versus Bruno Fernandes. That's going to be interesting to see. 2 new signings, similar in age, similar in ability, and both players wanted to come to the Premier League and fight. Those respectable characters, in my opinion, respectable traits to come to the Premier League, the hardest league in the world, and perform. And it's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a good headline for next time we verse Chelsea next season, or if we verse them in the FA Cup or anything, I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Yep, so we'll go to Daniel James. Look, Daniel James had an okay game. He runs his ass off, but I just don't end up I just don't think he ends up doing anything really, and I think that's a big problem. But he's, like I said before, I've said this so many times. He's not even supposed to be playing at the moment. I just don't think we have anybody else with any sort of pace whatsoever. I definitely think we played counter-attacking football, so Daniel James is perfect for that. And there will be times where Daniel James, he will get his opportunities. Trust me, he will end up getting a goal or an assist. Time will be on his side, but at the moment, I'm gonna give him a 5. I wish I could give him higher than that. I don't think he was average today. I just think he was slightly below average, and he didn't do much. He could have got he did get away some killer balls like good crosses, but he just didn't do enough of that. And Chelsea kind of marked him out of the game really. That was Azpilicueta's side, so you would think that Daniel James can just outpace him, but it didn't end up happening. I think they ended up double teaming Daniel James as soon as he got the ball. Rudiger did very well to as soon as Daniel James decided to pick a direction to run, Rudiger was there, and that's why he's such a good centre back in my opinion. Very underrated. So yeah, Daniel James didn't end up getting into the game, but if he did, like we've seen what he can do against teams that don't take him seriously or allow him to run. So I think Chelsea learnt the lesson from that from the last 2 games. That they didn't let him run today, and it ended up giving him a bad game. Martial, gonna give Martial a 7. The goal was world class. The goal was probably the best I've seen heading wise all season. It was a fantastic header. And the cross was pretty amazing as well. So those two linking up, Martial up until that point, it was the same on Martial. He was moving to the left. He wasn't staying in the striker position. It's his natural instincts to move to the left. But at the end of the day, he scored a beautiful goal from the centre, from a cross, and he got into the box. He got where he needed to go, and he scored. That's beautiful play. It's nothing more you could ask from a forward to score a goal like that. If you used to score a goal like that every game, you'd be the best forward in the world. So it's a brilliant goal, but I think besides that, he didn't really do anything. He held off Zuma pretty well as well. He did very well. Ended up he could potentially have a back issue. I don't know. That looked a really nasty fall, but he kept playing. Hopefully everything's all right with that. And that's the team. I think Ollie's lineup probably gets an 8. I think that's the best lineup you could have given out for a 3-5-2. I wish we didn't play that formation because we've beaten Chelsea without that formation in a more attacking way, but we still won the game. So I can't complain about the formation and the players. I think the performance was a 6 out of 10. I don't think we performed particularly well today, but I definitely think Chelsea were the better team in terms of possession, but we were just more clinical than them. And at the end of the day, if Tammy Abraham was playing today, things could have been different. Like making excuses and all that, that's fine. We can all say if Tammy Abraham played and all that. It's probably true, but at the end of the day, that was the team put in front of us in a very important game, and we took that advantage and we beat them. Because if you think about it, we don't have our best team either. So injuries-wise, yeah, they played pretty much their second team today, their B team. But still, we beat that team. We're 3 points behind them, I believe. We're still 7th, but now we're only 1 game away from being in 4th position or 2 games away. Anything can happen now. Time's ticking, and we're giving them a fight at least, and that's all I can ask for. If we can fight and not just give it away to them, then that's all we can really ask for as for now. And we still got the Europa League as well. So time will only tell. Hopefully 4th can be ours. Let's see what happens. We'll go to the subs. I don't really remember the subs. I think Diogo Dalot came on. He didn't do much. He got a 6. Igalo came on, and that was good to see. He ended up, he performed pretty well for me. I'm going to give him a 7, bro. Like, he had a shot on goal for the limited time he played. He did good. He showed his strength. He showed he's got skills. I wish he could have hit it like a little bit away from Caballero, which, by the way, Caballero was bad today as well. I thought I should just mention that. But yeah, Igalo 7 for when he came on, but you know, limited time to really show what he could do. And who else? Who else came on? Andreas Pereira came on, and didn't really see much of him, to be honest. So I guess I'll give him a 6 as well. That's the team. That's the result. What's next? We got Club Brugge next, Europa League game. Very important game, but I think this is going to be a game where a lot of players, we're not going to play our full team. We're definitely going to pick a strong team, but I think a lot of players will get some rest. We'll see how everything goes with that. Thank you all for watching. Sorry again about being late. It's just, you know, people are asleep. I don't want to wake them. And the internet here is not very good. So even when I upload this, it'll probably take 3 hours to actually upload. So, yeah. Anyway, this is the Sports Code. Take care. Peace.